pop-up breweries are going to fade away, and you're not going to have 20 breweries in every town like we have right now. Some of those are going to fade away. You're going to have 5 or 6 of your quality craft brews, but you're not going to have 3 on every street anymore.
No, you're right. But the issue they're running into now is hop depletion, major hop depletion. Like there we go. That's a beer popping right there. The hop depletion, citra hops is really hard to get a hold of right now. So we're, as a smaller brewery, and even the brew shop with, next door, ESB Brewing and then Booth Brewing next door, we're having trouble getting a hold of citra hops, which is one of our favorite hops to use because it's so popular. So that's a story I'll probably dig into next week is
the scarcity of hops.
Yeah, we're at almost a precipice of hop depletion in the United States, and also with the grains and the drought and stuff like that. So we might be in a little bit of trouble, and that might cause the bubble to burst.
Miggy, you mentioned Booth Brewing, you mentioned ESB. Didn't say it at the beginning of this show like I normally do when we broadcast from ESB, but you can find this if you desire to brew your own beer, then you owe yourself a visit to ESB and then to go next door to Booth Brewing. ESB is located at 333 North Falkenberg Road, Suite D.
Ooh, Suite D.
Thank you. 407. Wow, I can't believe you actually have that one on there.
Dude,
Good job.
It loaded, and then you said Sweet D, and I hit it.
Oh, perfect timing. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely want to go up there and take a gander at it. But, we're talking about the craft beer thing, but I see in the news now, Miggy, there's a new revelation when it comes to the pint glass.
Yeah, this is a cool study out of the UK, which I thought was really interesting. And everybody wants to, on occasion, you'll find a really cool study out there that they'll, invite people to come to. These people got a free, 100% free pub crawl, okay? So this one here is, they wanted to find out between a regular glass, a straight glass, and a curved glass, who would get drunk faster. So what they did was there was this large group of 160 men and women went on a free pub crawl to 3 local pubs and where they downed booze in the name of science, of course, always in the name of science.
Always a good reason to drink.
Yes, as the professor has once stated, we are a great compound. Is what he stated last time, if you remember that. So they split into 2 groups. One group drank beer from curved glasses, kind of like those bubble style, with the little dimples in it. Those beer glasses kind of look like a big old golf ball. And then they had the other ones, which were the straight glasses, and they marked them all with the amount of beer. And the people that had the sorry, I apologize. Oh God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
He's sitting there looking at his tablet and trying to find where he left off on the article.
Yeah. So they went to each of these bars, and the lab rats were split into 2 groups. One drank from curved marked glasses with the volume amounts, and the other group drank from unmarked curved glasses. The researchers found out that the marked glasses took a minute more to finish than the unmarked group. So then they were out there, and they found that the ones who drank out of the straight glasses drank a lot slower than the other group also, which was really weird. So they couldn't you can't really tell how much you're drinking from the curved glasses is what the whole basis of it was. So they said that it suggests that small changes such as glass shape, volume marketing can help individuals more accurate judgment of the volume they're drinking, be more accurate, make more accurate judgments.
And you got to wonder, Miggy, if it's not a psychological thing.
It could be. It really could be, because a lot of those studies do find out there's a lot of psychological aspects to that.
Well, in our society, we deal with societal guilt, right?
Yeah.
In terms of indulgence.
You especially.
And no, I just deal with indulgence. I don't deal with societal guilt. I don't have guilt.
You have a lot of guilt, I'm sure.
No,
or guilt, as we may say.
Oh, in Hanukkah I have a lot of guilt, but I compartmentalize, so I don't suffer from guilt.
Well done, I do the same thing, brother.
Well, before we close the segment out, we always end it. The first segment. It's a normal tradition here, and that is with the Badass of the Week.
Badass of the Week.
Badass of the Week, yeah.
Caleb, bring in today's Badass of the Week.
This is a great story. A 95-year-old man fights off a would-be robber with a cane. Police say that 95-year-old World War II veteran used his cane to fight off a robber. This was in Manchester, New Hampshire. The robber approached him, asked for his wallet, and it was in a zippered pocket. I guess he used that time to start fighting the guy with his cane. Fought him off long enough so the passerby could come give him a hand, and they They chased the guy off.
They gave him a handy?
They gave him a hand. Yeah.
How fitting is it that a 95-year-old dude whooped a robber's ass in a state that has a motto known as live free or die?
Right?
That's always been my favorite state motto, has been New Hampshire's, because there's no middle ground. You either live free or you die.
Oh, that's
So a salute to this 95-year-old World War II geezer. Please, cheers to him for standing his ground. It's Florida, we call it the gunshine state, but in New Hampshire, hey, it's all about the wooden stick.
Did you hear? Speaking of gunshine states, real quick, you heard Texas is going to legalize marijuana? Can you believe that?
I didn't hear that. Sorry,
I saw that.
swallowing a
So
gulp of
that'll be a story I'll dig
torpedo.
into. I'll dig into next week.
Well, guys, we're going to jump to a quick commercial break. All you craniacs, make sure you stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to get into a segment that I have titled All About the Benjamins.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk to you soon.
Hello, I am Dr. Ira Goldman, 3-star board-certified rated plastic surgeon taking over for the newly retired Dr. Raji. I will continue his legacy of excellence. It is now my turn to share an important message with the growing number of older men out there. Have you ever felt an excruciating pain in your stomach? Do you believe you have a hernia only to find out you're sitting on your testicles? Have you developed a rash on your beanbag from a dirty locker room floor? Up until now, Triple S, or saggy scrotum syndrome, has been an affliction that many men have just had to live with. Life without Triple S is no longer a fantasy. I use the tried and successfully utilized techniques of Dr. Raji for full scrotum rejuvenation therapy. Throughout a series of operations and an exercise regimen, I can give you back the testicles of a 20-year-old man. Call during this commercial and I'll also give you back the foreskin of a Greek god. Let's hear from some of our related patients. Patient number 1.
For the last 30 years of my life, I've just wanted to die. My scrotum hung so low that when I went to the bathroom, it was like I was making test tea. Ha-ha! Get it? Since my rejuvenation and optional foreskin reformulation, I'm ready to take my piggy to market again. Thank you, Dr. Goldman.
Patient number 2. After almost suffocating my wife with my enormous droopy matzo balls, my friend Moish told me about Dr. Goldman's testicle rejuvenation. Yes, it took several invasive operations. But it's not like I had anything better to do. Now I can take Goliath down with my sling. Oh, thank you, Dr. Goldman. So call me, Dr. Goldman, at 1-555-541-SACK to begin your transformation today. Professor Ptolemy Tyson here for the Cranial Emission Show with Ben Charles, Miguel Hito, and Caleb Crispy. Now that's what I call a compound.
The great professor himself, Professor Ptolemy Tyson.
He wants to come on again. He called me last week.
Haven't had him on the show in a while, actually.
There's a lot of new science stuff out there, Ben.
Welcome back to the Cranial Mission Show, folks. The triumvirate before you, Ben Charles, Miguel Hito, the great Caleb Crispy himself, the C Squared.
Oh, yeah.
Broadcasting from Charles Tower on a rare occasion where we're not live. Typically we are. But if you want to be a part of the show, you want to call in, you can do so, 813-438-6068. Starting off with a segment here that I titled All About the Benjamins, because let's face it, folks, money does, in fact, make the world go round. And people will go to extreme lengths to make that money.
Cream, Ben, cream.
That's
Cash
it.
rules everything around us.
Thank you.
Wait,
That's a little Wu-Tang.
me. Cash rules everything around me.
Yeah, that would be Crayu.
Dollar bill. Crayu! Cash rules everything around me. Dollar bills,
A
y'all.
little Wu-Tang shout-out.
Yeah.
So Caleb, no, it's Miggy on this one.
Oh, yeah, this is me. Holy shit.
I read this
Yeah.
on the outline, and I haven't heard this story yet, so go for it. Let's hear it.
Little lottery news.
Yeah, this guy went to cash a $75,000 lottery ticket. Good stuff, man. That's a scratch off I wanted to get. Only to be given $75 by a Chevron employee who was revealed to be a state lottery inspector. So the whole thing went viral last week because the guy ended up getting $75. The guy's like, yeah. So they tried to identify the winner to give him his money he was really owed. And the manager told reporters the clerk made a huge mistake when he forked over only $75. And he's like, I hope the person, right person comes in to pick up the ticket. So he didn't know the customer was an undercover lottery inspector. There was no actual winner, which was the even bigger craziness. So the guy was a California lottery inspector, and he went to do a little compliance check is what that whole thing turned out to be. So they're investigating whether it was an honest mistake or a real deal.
The whole thing to me, Miggy, smells like you're completely backtracking and trying to cover your ass. You know what I mean? The
On that one I was, because I didn't read the story all
but
the way
no,
through.
not for you. But the owner clearly figured out that a mistake was made and knew. I'm thinking he might have figured out that it was an inspection.
Right.
Because why did they post a video? I mean, and this really makes you wonder, I don't know about you guys. I assume you guys do as well, because we're all somewhat intelligent people, except when we drink. But if I win, I already know that I've won. I've looked it up online. But how many people just trust the entity that they're going into to validate the ticket? So you go in there, you trust that they're going to validate and tell you what you won. And, someone hands you $75, you assume they're telling you the truth, and you walk off. Meanwhile, this was clearly on the clerk's, in my opinion, it was clearly the clerk's attempt to try to pocket the difference.
Yeah, but look who you got working at gas stations nowadays, though. I mean, you got some pretty big, let's take your money. What you want? Can I see your ID?
But you say nowadays, I mean, let's face it, there hasn't been any class at a gas station since the 1950s.
That is true.
You know what I mean? It's not like
there
there's even,
hasn't been any class since Steve Martin worked at the gas station.
there's not even a full
Shot at.
service anymore. There's no full service.
No.
Nice jerk reference, by the way. But there's,
I bring that in on it.
But there's no full service anymore. There's not anything. I mean, it is not. Gas station employees have been the bottom of the barrel for a long time, and who the hell wants to work there anyway? That's not exactly a great work environment. Let's face it.
Well, with this lottery ticket, did they say, was it the type that, like a scratch off that tells him what he won? Because that would be a little weird. If I had a lottery ticket that told me I won $75,000,
Yeah,
I wouldn't go to a gas station.
I don't think it was a scratch off, was it? I think it was just an actual lottery ticket.
It was a lottery ticket. So the right person, it is a lottery ticket, is what it
Yeah,
was.
see, I actually did read this article. You sent it to me, and I actually read it. Unlike you. This brings the old saying on this show that we like to say all the time. Here on the Crane Mission Show, we do our homework. Unfortunately, the dog sometimes eats it.
Oh, computer jumped in and said that right away.
Speaking of money, from a lottery winning to just found money.
Yeah, this is a crazy story. A bag carrying $63,000 in moldy bills was found in a Pennsylvania park. It was a plastic bag that was discovered by a visitor of the park, found it, and turned it into the police. And so the police went looking for it. They said there was some paperwork that found that near the is that better?
Yeah.
Sorry, had to get the mic level right there. That apparently a woman did file a missing report for $63,000 a year ago. She failed to leave any information to contact her.
Really?
So you're
but
the whole story is an exercise in recklessness to begin with. First of all, if I have $63,000 in bills, I'm either going to put it in a bank account or I'm going to lock it in a safe. Or, worst case scenario, I'm going to bury it in my backyard and write out a treasure map. But I'm sure as hell not going to leave it in a plastic bag. And then if you're going to be cautious and file the report, you're slipping on that too. You don't leave them any contact information. But kudos to the park visitor for being honest enough to actually report that money, because you go to find it and you see it's all moldy and crusty. I mean,
Hey, I'll get the soap out and clean that money.
I mean, you're walking out. I mean, talk about laundering some money. Oh, are you just going to go there? I mean, that's a hell of a find, man. I mean, how many people are just kind of, you're looking around, you're in the park, you see a bag, you see some green kind of hanging out of the bag, and you're doing the old trick where you stick your foot out and you just kind of.
I know that.
You don't want to just like look right at it and be obvious, so you just kind of stick your foot out and you just kind of drag the bag of money over to you. You look around while you're doing it, like nothing's going on, even though it looks totally obvious. And you drag it over to you. And
that happened with
and you pick it up and you're like, "See you, bitches," and you run out.
That kind of situation happened with a certain recreational intoxicant in pill form one time with a friend of mine. some guy was showing off his stash, and one rolled off to the side, and my buddy took his beer and then put it right on top of it.
Oh, you told me that story.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. And then we ended up